Hi. Did you know where I was been? Greetings everyone, boys and girls. This is James here speaking. Today is about the aftermath onto the new documents of religion refillable update. I know this is an update on Monday here, today. Today is about the Monday, which means here's this today, which there's had a special kind of personality with my partner friends with the IMS. Pretty much it have to say that grandchildren with the forgots. Everything is as perfectly as goes. However, there we go. And by the hairs have to sometime. Others, it's going to be to explain here with the 3 days break for a while, and what is best had about to do. It's going to be the homeowners have to overstay that had on Thursday, which means my family's mom's is going out there as a Bangkok worked to autistic Thai operation with social expression, and that has previous from before how I went to Mountain Hallways bonus resort that previously, and there's got to be half Thai autism group associate at Bandak. It's one federal responsibility to have the documented units here. It says documentation. It's technically his claimed speech is claimed by the families and the person and the people, and varieties is had the currently is proper there. Just gonna have refill files is backing up to the documentation. This documentary, after there is placing there so the holders that the holders of the small in-house studios that leave it here away from the work, and provides that have the special children have the encouragement this bit had is encouraged with the children, and has a largely for the entertaining to be as a separate has rather bites. As it's about the 3 days period with to get this get rid of with the children, a special kind of personality as a personality as well whatsoever. This is along here is mounted here is a bunt dog at the im house, and they don't have Wi-Fi, the internet. It's overstayed this home. In fact, it's not being said will not support to stay at home, and the Thai Autism Group Associate Bantak is going into it, and it's although it's obviously just contained with the children, but it's gonna privacy the hyperate this series as hyperating. This communications, of the documentations is a bit has a suspect to be printed of the biocongratulated ID card as zero decapitated for locked up for documented here, and that's have to clinch it to be, so I went to have this being to be into our has a hard time for work. Remember where I was at, but anyways, just have it this time about it this time. Today is I was previous from this Friday. I went to second school, And so after the prize, it's required to be needed to go into school first, and then and had I just recommended what my teacher, and they wanted to have the teachers of art contest will become to art contest Brown Prize 2019 Sukotai. Pretty much just have to excited there. That's really interesting. And I just have the running my visual artist, and I have famously tradition of the traditional art, as these three things that interlusions for an additional artist, and I have given us have the opportunities that make the art contest entry, and then move along with my James Taylor art project, and we just had the showing case with the teachers. That's big surprise at that, and as hours of appearance leads, it's leading out to here that gonna take it to lunch as a little bit as I ate them, and I just ate them to ice cream stuff, and then I gonna be just continually with the work so that as much of that as I do, and teachers and students have children going towards to the temple and sitting among here that with the Buddha was heard, and all this had always that this is a good thing. Good thing is about a mouth for the hours of period. Time spent for period as a permanently engraved to be as a I prefer bit has a processing to be the as studyings of the school the student career. It's as I think ran into idea and using my own mind have a going to seeing grass and trees and the mountain, the buildings, the village woodens as a built are contrary as correctly incorporated, but and I had to scratch and had to put that my new ideas that it's arbitrarily to have new ideas of James Taylor art projects at second school are the had the equipment as oil pastel provides have the techniques of the sequency and subsequency with the oil pastel had to get hard tools that you getting is very easy to practice takes, and the hard leads as rapidly that have to touching them just tapping goes have the 1,000 times, and the fit has a knuckles the right compose excuse me right have compose as I just was creating this there the entire trees, the entire bright walk and buildings materials and environment there to the atmosphere something in the case, and my first art project and it was officially made it. This is where as aspiration to be. This was have put us among for the opportunity to spend our project. I think that the teachers that they had a good interesting. This is a very good interesting, and maybe at the second school coming the more art contest entry, and I had to beat increasingly speedily and greed, and just had and just put it has oil pastel put built into it, and just finished that and second pace, and then moving into another piece of paper that's biggest have the side traditional art. Novels have it a bit how it's going to be the hard time to work to schools, a hard time to work to at home. It's my life has had to spend more traditional art is particularly to pretty favorite oil pastel, and things have things that have got to be put the case that's carrying on to my first art project at school at the first time, and then the mother said she's coming up to here to have a pickup, and then it got out from the second school, and then the take to the carry on to the package to pick him up, and I just have to pick up to the equipment, to digital art, to iPads and clothes and shower cabinet capable to fit there, and something like that, and everything on the side, and then to close them out of the case. I have to keep away from the work, and I just have got to explain here. And we just had we went had a 3 days break, and I got to tell you about the explain here. They have to start to Thai autism group associated Bandak and learning disabilities a child as a player amount there. Amount have to step by step the games, and does truly just have a disabilities there for grandchildren as families as nipple. So for practicals is practically and practically just have a secret case that such as volunteers have the case and does indoors, and I just work onto our project and does have the responsive there. And so I just went to the contact have to stay to in-house, and had no Wi-Fi internet in here, and Samsung the tablet, and another things that did not have to. I did not have to my Samsung phones. I think I might have sometimes later with that. It's put in the case. It's something about two. And the families just have to told me here, and I woke up here early mornings and just showered at the case. So much have to scalp and shampoo and toothbrush as owner, and so I have to clean out their stuff, the toothbrush, and I just have a grandchildren, a grandboys, and have children have to come into the house, and Thai personality just there for step by step games have so much have hours of periods, and on purpose have different others that it's something that had just there's a model for children that have autism here, and this that had autism existed in this real time except for it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary with us for children, and swinging the rope and just swing around here for a rope and it's landed it here, put it that things here that's sticking the bird into the ribbon state, and I just was gonna be standing there up, and of course, so what I just there's got to be that outdoors with something like exercise walks and running cycle, as this is call it work. I forget about it. So it's workout, walk cycle, walk that have to go into through it, and but perhaps it's going to be just more at 30 minutes and not take 2 hours. And I didn't get that 2 hours walk cycle. This is to be to have those mini games, and I had the step and the 4-way step are as the teaching its efforts they told are as a form of the male students have still has I have still the grade 3 that goes up to ended their school years of life, and the autism that they have this Thai autism group associate and autistic Thai operation. They have the teachers and then student here, and what is actually the form of the student this outsperms the outsperms have posted times have to skip, and the posted lifetimes of the just decades to something like that. The database have sites that with that has awareness to base bet just have a wars to be just rapidly has a pricked. It's particularly it's part of prick out here, so it's going off to, as a step and a step by step, and so forth for wave and step. And has to take a break, and had to do a coffee break to consuming with that snack any kinds of fat sugars calories is off so much as have them items to have the pieces, and drink them of hot shot light, and I recommended that for God's his grand boys is that he was once the boy of a gamer, that he was likely that the honors in that topic aside, and it's just he was declared that it's one of the natures that's natural grand boy's life, and the students that have to sticking up there to playing phones, have it playing the tablet is not allowed here for the school, and WhatsApp or whatsoever in the doors. It's sticking cased as a believe that the children have game addiction, that the video game addiction. What's this had this words have the children that not just respond to the being said with the video game addiction, the mobile game addiction there. As technological efforts are just have us they took it away for that this desk and the bad things case. And I'm just not gonna play the tablet in here indoors and this during this event this is today. And in fact, as a lunch break, and I had message that's sitting across and then falls off, then falling into the sleep this case, and everything is course as the first day released, as I got out here, and nobody going somewhere else, and forgot I had to walk with the snacks and drink a mouth had I bought with Oishi. Oishi the green tea has jellies, grapes that sounds delicious as bits I eat them as yogurt, and a little bit literally to snack. And I just had recommend myself still with the work on to James Taylor art projects with Metal Warehouse, and some people they had interesting my pretty pictures of bribe of the artist, and that's for sure as I really have to say about that. And I just had one thing as is our worth of a consumer. The consumer with the children and the families that have to take into the documented unit. And meanwhile, that Bangkok, the family worked to Bangkok Palaso Hotel, and Samsung had the no satellite signals the internet. Awfully, this was have Samsung the tablet here, and maybe something it's just getting produced, getting slowed, and not being getting wasted. And afterwards, so the second day, forgot that woke up here and sleep a bit while the previous as he was the controls on my the entire my watched Batman's and superheroes things that have got it had it had to be as real latitudes be. Laterally to the they have a rituals of control around and as for proprietely as the mice that had to that is owners that have the getting its crew list up and the crew and the children have to coming back here and there's a fat kid just coming back just towards him house and sometimes has the fat kid that doesn't have to identify the names so we can actually call it George Wetson William. That's right. The fat kid name's George Wetson William, and he's into the indoors, and he was charged of taking controls of my iPad to the primary iPads and secondary iPad as a cost of this. And he wanted to get it scratching this there's a piece of paper go through it and then damages caused that Apple Pencil box and severely damages as I think it's a survive but it's really okay and afterwards so as a step-by-step it's a four-way to step and it's going to drill it and as well as provides speeds has to take it carefully is carrying on to the children's and this options have a step it's giving a test have to run it have a running to over 4 there's a vote to the lead is a axis here for to make the act up to its children and step by step is here so the further ropes and have to land it have a space as a stays for standing has a case and as all it referred has the two pieces and swing of this hair and the bolt roll into have going into it and the bolt roll basket of plastic have a take care and pick them up and 3 cases of children so 1 adult personal of myself and ours additionally there's additionally this coolish bit there's apparently out perils out and ours lead that had is obviously just many games of step the upper loose that have the advantage of vials of the children that the special children that catches the subtle case of a disability and this is for educationals have special educationals a special kind of personally to personally and etc that and the persons have worked to our documentations and documentaries and document units have to develop it to the printed evidence inside are the colors of sheets this technicals have this curve have the case yes the other is out there it's two and I don't just have a right to have a mind and I just have a right first have in mother's have a calling to remember where I was originally just from the Saturday and in fact I had to take a coffee breaks and another this afternoon and I took it to have to take it to lunch and I just ate them to rice has not to eat them to sticky rice just ate them so hard and I just gladful as I eat them some fried fish have fried fish and I just removal out the fish bones as that was originally is obviously have to take into have the children's here that's message massage and spiral and tools and finally it has to barely out and to continue to have this falls from the sleep has a strain to have the dreams the everything obviously obviously its qualities of lifetimes. And afterwards, they got a release, and children have to take back to home. And Thai Autism Group Associate Bantak, they got a released, being 4 step ways: learned disability, and learns and teaches bit with disabilities children has many games and their case study, and they got out that they got a release and forgot, and they're still better going. And then Fat Kids George Wagton's Williams has ever attempted it under control, and eventually he goes out of way. He has a goes away, and has a hit back to home. Had midnight worked digital art. Have a run it into it, and hopefully there they go. And the next morning to this Monday here, as his moms have to miss with my son, as moms miss my grandson, and has to miss my mom, said miss my that she's being missed my son as myself. And as I got out here as a Thai Autism Group Associate, and so really has this forward bit, has a four ways to steps, and that everything is going to be so much have a good standing as things. And as I got out here and got a package that everything is got out here and present it, but as this document just have the unit here. But the Autistic Thai Operation Palaso Hotel, they got released, and they got out here for release. They've been 3 days periods, like 12, 13, 14, and they got finally released. At least this course, and the central after this time, and is this separately to it had four-step ways. It had to send out just as to have to take particularly the digital art is always about 16 pictures, and we contact, and we is actually is a contact work at the periods, and especially it has had moms have visit the in-house and the indoors and talk to them that printed it their inside to have a documented unit. I had in mind I have to got off here, and God had to surprisingly have missed them, moms and sons. And in this case, half the bills as a pays under the bills on the. What about have to give them $200 as a joke? I just gotta say it's a 200 typewriter. Just barely enough that. Not an extra typewriter. I don't think I have the 360 typewriter. It's an extras here, extrally, and perhaps as a barely to have gonna be rich. As I just two of the new bites. I don't like the new bites. I just want to have a resume it a bit. Resume it back to its case then. But and of course. Overall, this was at the end of the period here. So, anyway, Thai Autism Group Associate Bantak and the Autistic Thai Operation Bangkok, they finally released. They have released this today. And the Bantak has also have the 750% units of documents, and increasingly has 7,830% units, and go up to have 9,105% units of documents, and associate had totally increased 6,790% units, and the Bangkok also had increasingly 30 to 455% of units of documents in Renaissance. Renaissance of the live action reality, it should be as good as pretty as peacefully and is honestly children has gone out and then documents his operations gone out and they got a release and everything's they got released and hopefully has home sweet home for a while and I had to be to continue work as much as possible but documented units have the titles and some group associate those are worth to be those have a worth of the speech just to make them more objects and the operations that predictable from the previous months before. But as I just have the chance to be, as that if I have moms is asking to have the want to be visit a Buntuck, and I just want to have the overstayed at home for a while to have the digital art and the traditional art. Those are hats as particularly just aspirated and sometimes I have to a lot have the object for its worries something topic anything and whatever nothing much have story for this time anyway so and that's all I have to pretty much say I would have to say a thank you for stopping by your views your responsive your comments your interest your impressive and greatly for it appreciated so autistic tie operation and even a call of it that James Taylor superheroes committed creation and give it about more 3 days break and hopefully they get rid of that this digital art and they get that and hopefully get back to my work very well very soon so right now to be honest and opposite to get back to work and tomorrow it will be at the weekends and school will be at the second school to announce that art contest so-called type route prize 2019 it's going to be excitement and post 2010 decades should be as takes over and 2019 the post 2010 decades will be is going away and hopefully the early 2020 decades to get that my own video diaries is very soon so right now I've been to have stopped the video so and that's it so that was it so and that's about it as I have to not much have talked to say about this and hope you like it and thanks for watching my videos and hope you're around so I see you next videos as always I'll see you then to the next update and later.